Hello, welcome to the vocabulary lesson for adventure. Now, this will be a little bit shorter because it's a little bit easier this time. Let's start at the very beginning. We have the phrase internal dialogue. He says that after you graduate from college, or perhaps high school, and maybe before your second job, sometime in that time period, a chorus of people, chorus means group, a group of people. A group of people enters your internal dialogue. Now, internal means inside, so he means inside your mind, inside your brain. Dialogue means conversation. So what is he talking about? He means that other people's opinions, what other people say, it gets inside your head. You start hearing all these suggestions and advice because everybody's telling you what to do. Your parents are telling you, get a good job, get a good job, get a good job, get a good job. And so that becomes part of your internal dialogue. It becomes part of your conversation, the conversation in your brain. So internal dialogue means the conversation happening inside your head. And other people put those ideas in your head. They become part of your internal conversation, internal dialogue. Okay, next we talked about the word deficit. Deficit means not enough. It means not having enough. So adventure deficit means not having enough adventure. Not having enough adventure. And disorder basically means disease. It's a kind of disease. But it's really more of a mental disease. We use it for mental problems. So we say a mental disorder, a mental disease. All right. Next, we go down a little bit and we see the word automated. Automated. So Tim Ferriss created a company, and his idea was to have automated income. Automated means automatic. It has this idea of being done by machines or computers. So automated income means automatic income. It means he doesn't have to work for it. It just happens automatically. So he has, for example, he has a website. People buy his product, and the computer takes the money from the credit card. The computer sends information to the warehouse. The warehouse sends the product to the customer. Tim Ferriss does nothing. He sits on the beach. He doesn't need to do anything. Everything is automatic, right? There's an automatic system. So that's what automated means. Automated means a process that is automatic. A process that happens automatically. So his idea was to have a business that was automated. It means the business happened automatically with computers, with other people, and he wouldn't need to do anything. That was his idea. In fact, he wanted automated cash flow. Cash means money. Flow means movement, movement. So money movement, cash flow. Now, of course, he's talking about positive cash flow. It means money moving to him, right? Money coming to him. It means the money is moving, from his business to his pocket or to his bank. That's cash flow. Negative cash flow means the money is leaving your bank. It's going to other people. You don't want that. You want positive cash flow, money moving to you. So he wanted automated cash flow. Automatic money coming to him. That was his goal. But he says there was a problem. He says, if you look at my chronology, you will see that it did not happen in the beginning. So he says, if you look at my chronology means history. It's almost exactly the same meaning. Chronology means history or timeline. But history is really a simple synonym, a simple word that means the same thing. So he says, if you look at my history, if you look at my chronology, Look at my history when I started the company and then the first year, the second year, the third year. Look at that chronology. Look at that history. He says, if you look at that chronology, if you look at that history, you see that I did not stop working. He said, I could have had automated income, but instead I kept working and working and working. I didn't need to work, but I kept working anyway. He said, I worked until a meltdown forced me to stop working. A meltdown. What's a meltdown? A meltdown is an emotional crisis. It means you totally lose control of your emotions, usually because of stress. So you're working, more pressure, more stress. You're trying to control, and suddenly, meltdown, right? You lose all your control. You lose all your emotional control. You just go crazy, basically. So this happened to Tim Ferriss. He built this company. He was making more money. He was working harder, more stress, more busy. Finally, his mind and body broke. A meltdown. He lost control. I can't do this. Too much stress. He totally lost control. He had a meltdown. And when he lost control of his feelings, he just kind of went crazy for a while. He finally stopped. He realized, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I working so much? I don't need to. I have plenty of money. Why am I still working? Why am I so stressed? I have enough money. My money can be automated. Why am I doing this? Why am I making my life unhappy? Why am I making myself so stressed? That's what he asked himself after the meltdown, after the emotional crisis. And he realized the reason was that he did not have alternate activities, other activities, to replace the workload. Workload means amount of work. Very simple. It's the amount of work you have. You can say, I have a heavy workload. A heavy workload means you have a lot of work to do. You're super busy. Or you can say, I have a light workload. It means you don't have much to do. You're not busy. Your job is quite easy. Or you can even talk about it just temporarily. You can say, this week, I have a very light workload. But next week I have a very heavy workload. It's just the amount of work you have. So he's saying his problem was he had this heavy workload and he could stop. But the problem was he had nothing to replace it with. He didn't have something else to do. So he was afraid if I stop working, I'll be totally bored. And that'll be even more horrible. It'll make me even more unhappy. So that's why he kept working. He didn't have an exciting alternative to work. And then finally, of course, he had a meltdown. He kind of went crazy because of all the stress. And then he realized, wow, I need more exciting, more meaningful alternatives. I don't want to be a slave to my business. And then finally, we have the word inducing, fear-inducing. He said, we work more and more to avoid the fear-inducing uncertainty. Fear-inducing uncertainty. Inducing means causing. So it's fear causing uncertainty. The uncertainty causes fear. That's what the phrase means. So he's saying we want to avoid uncertainty that causes fear. We don't like uncertainty. We don't want to be uncertain because it causes fear. It induces fear. So here we're using it as an adjective. Fear-inducing uncertainty. What kind of certainty? Fear-causing uncertainty. Fear-inducing uncertainty. So he's saying if you don't have other big dreams, you'll be afraid. You'll be uncertain. I don't know what to do. What will I do? There's nothing there. That's very scary. So you keep working. So he's saying if you have big dreams, other activities outside work, then you will have certainty and you will not be afraid. No fear-inducing uncertainty. Fear-causing uncertainty. All right, well, that's the end of our vocabulary lesson for adventure. Let's move on to the mini story.